session of the day, and obviously last day of Friday. Here to party, so it's the QGIS release for 3.42, and Tim, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Once again, you're probably tired of hearing my voice. 3 sessions, I think. No, okay, 2 sessions. It's not too much, but it's been fun to spend some time just focusing on QGIS today. And this session is really just an informal session where we can hang out. If you want to come and join in the Jitsi room, there's a link on the wiki page. Maybe you can drop that into the YouTube live chat as well if you want to, Sibiwe. Otherwise, put your questions in the live chat and we'll answer as best as we can. I do have a time cap of 1 hour, so we'll stop at the end of the hour. And this is a bit of a tradition. We've been doing these release parties for some time. Sometimes we miss, sometimes sporadically, but the idea is just to kind of celebrate the new release when it comes out and look at some of the interesting features. We'll try them out on the fly. I haven't prepared all sorts of like fancy PowerPoints to show them off or anything like that. And we won't have time to look at them all. So if you're curious about a feature and you want us to try it out, we can try to demonstrate it on the fly if we can. I wanted to talk a little bit before we start going through the changelog, just about some of the other things that have happened in the last few months since the last release. Just a reminder that our release roadmap, first of all, is on our beautiful new website, which Lova and the team from Contour and myself built, and Lova now maintains. Like on this website, you can see all the details about when the next releases are coming out, and we try to make it much easier to digest than the old page that showed the releases. So you can see that in 20 days, we'll be getting the next long-term release, which will be based off the version 3.405. So the 5th bug fix release of 340. You see that we'll also be getting a point release on this current release that we're just going to look at today in 20 days. And then the next development release 3, it will be 3.4.4 when it comes out. It's coming in 76 days. So like once every 3 months, once every 4 months, we put out a new release. And if you want to track the releases, you can click this button. It will add a reminder in your calendar, so you can kind of know when the release is about to come out. If you need to prepare your organization to work with a new release, that's a good way to kind of keep on top of when the releases are coming out. But besides the development of QGIS, we've also been doing a lot of other things in the QGIS project. So I thought maybe we can hand over to Lova for a few minutes, Lova, and you can show us a little bit some of the amazing stuff you've been doing with the websites, and then we'll jump back to my screen share for looking at the release, if that's okay for you.
Sure. Let me just share my screen. So we have been busy with updating the related websites. Also, one of them is the hub. It was part of the QGIS plugins, but we've separated it there. So we have a new QGIS resources hub where you can see see styles, projects, models, 3D models, layer definition, and yeah. So this is we have been also doing a design overhaul on this website, so it looks pretty like this now. You can see bunch of styles there and directly download from there. And also, we've been also doing the plugins overhaul, the website of the plugins, so it looks like the new website now. And yeah, it has a new branded overhaul with this grid view and also table views. And also we have the planet website. So the planet is yeah, it's for feeds for the community members blog. So these are the list of the feeds that you can see there for now. And yeah, you can click on either click on it or click on start reading. So yeah, these feeds are from the community. And that's pretty it for now. We are expecting also to do an update on the changelog website where there is the changes, the certification, and other web services. So I think that's all.
It's amazing, Robert. I know that Hans van der Kwast is wanting to know when the ability to put processing models will come to the hub. I think you have got that on your to-do list, right?
Yeah,
Sorry,
sure.
not the models, the algorithms,
The
right?
Yes, there are some new features that we are expecting to develop as well. Yeah, that you mentioned that Tim, the processing model. There is also map gallery, which is also should come in the next 2 weeks. Yeah, that there are a bunch of new features that is on my roadmap on my board. But you also feel free to go there. It's a public board where you can track the maintenance of the QGIS websites. Um, Let me share the link in the chat.
Is my screen share still showing? I can.
Okay.
I think my laptop got disconnected. Just a second.
Um,
Uh, do you still hear me, Lola?
yeah.
Okay.
I've sent the link to my board in the chat. I wonder, your screen is freezing from my
Yeah,
side.
I'm just trying to reconnect to it. Just give me one moment. Having some technical issues with my internet here.
Your internet started the weekend way too early.
just bear with me for 2 minutes. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to use Windows to show off the late because I haven't got the latest QGIS on my Linux machine, but it keeps dropping my network connection. Okay, I'm gonna have to make a plan B. I don't think I'm going to be able to do. CLB, have you installed the latest QGIS on your machine already?
No, because I'm using a Windows machine and the work one is a Linux, so where I'm currently presenting is the Windows.
Okay. Just bear with me for 1 minute.
I see also Selma is in the room. Maybe are you able to share your screen with Selma, the latest version?
Yes, but I don't have the latest LTR. I have some nightly versions, so if that can help.
Oh, that's okay. I think we can use that. And maybe, Selma, you can also give a little update about what's been happening with the documentation work while I get my internet sorted out, if you don't mind.
So for the documentation, we updated the latest version of documentation. So the latest version is now LTR 3.40. The translations are still not available, but they will be available very soon. So now when you go to the latest documentation site, you will open the LTR documentation. That means 3.40. So that's been updated, and you can enjoy the newest documentation.
And going forward, we're going to soon be in the place where we will have the documentation ready as soon as the release comes out, right?
Yes, that's the plan.
It should be a big milestone for the QGIS project.
Yeah.
I'm restarting Windows. I need another 2 minutes. Maybe you can pull up your nightly build there.
Maybe I
Wait,
can.
okay, it
Sure.
restarted. Let me see if I'm online quickly.
Okay.
Oh dear. Okay, I think we're going to have to just look at the changelog. Because I'm having some technical issues here with getting into the room. I'm just going to try one last thing. It seems to be on Windows when I connect to the Wi-Fi, then it disconnects the Bluetooth, which is not so useful because my mouse and keyboard is connected using Bluetooth. Okay, let's see how long this lasts. If it fails again, I'll just go to switch to using just looking at the changelog, and we can maybe look on your screen, Selma. So hopefully you can see my screen. Can you confirm if you can see it?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. And let's get QGIS running again. So all of the change logs for each release get published on our website here. Like you can go under project, visual change logs. So everything we're going to show you today is just in this latest 342 entry over here. And this is, again, a lot of work that, besides developing the actual features, which a lot of dedicated developers have done, there's also a lot of work that goes into from Selma and Charlie and Marius and Andreas Neumann to actually write up the changelog every release. So thank you, guys. If you click on this image, you will get a nice visual tour of the release. It's a YouTube video that Marius makes, which is kind of like a highlights reel. So do have a look at that as well. And then if you scroll down a bit, then you'll see feature by feature all the cool new things that arrived in this release. So I will just go through and tell you about some of the interesting things. This first one is about how QGIS considers the bounding box of each feature's symbol when it's rendering. So what the problem they're trying to fix here is that if this point is outside of the canvas, but its buffer is bigger than its symbol is bigger than the point, then usually that was not getting rendered when the point itself was outside the canvas. But now there's a new option where you can go and configure the bounding box of the symbol itself to be the bounding box for the deciding whether to render it or not. And basically it then does like an off-screen render of the symbol and make sure that it gets shown on the map. So you'll see this under the, if we go to here, I could take one point like this. I think it's under I actually don't know where it is in the how to get to it. Maybe somebody in the chat room knows.
No, I have not found it.
Okay, we'll have to come back to that one if somebody can give us a hint of where the actual option is to enable that. Okay, well, moving on. The next one is a really exciting feature for me, which is something that I always did manually. So what I would always use to do is do like a extract centroids to points and then do a raster, like extract the raster values and assign them to the point layer, and then show labels for points if I wanted to label raster cells. But now rasters themselves can have labels based on their values. So if I go to a raster layer, like let's find one that's not too big cell size. So like this one here, for example. So you'll see there's now a label option, and you can label it with the pixel values, and you can see all the normal label styling options are available. So you can go and set whatever options you want to around the background of the label, like this, something like this. And yeah, and you've got all the tools for setting up beautiful labels for your don't know where those buffers are not showing, but anyway, it's not too important yet. You can set up all the labeling for your raster, and I think you can do all the normal things like the scale-based rendering and all the other nice things that you're used to. Actually don't know if this is a bug or not, because I think that should be showing, but anyway, okay, won't worry about that now. But it's great, really nice to be able to see the values of your raster now like this. There's been a bunch more other labeling improvements, including the ability to use CSS. I won't try and demonstrate them all now, but you can set like the background property, margin property, line height properties, all using CSS. Which so if you're using the HTML label function, which just gives you a lot more fine-grained control over how the labels will come out. The mesh stuff is always difficult for me to show because I'm not an expert on working with mesh layers, but the mesh support in QGIS just continues to get more and more improvements every release, and there's nice new editing tools here where you can go and edit the mesh by adding Delaunay triangles to the mesh, basically densifying the mesh, which is really great. And they've got like dataset group controls, the actions on mesh items now as well, which is giving it similar functions to like what you have in the vector layer actions. You can assign nodes from elevation data, I think. From your project terrain, for example, you can assign it to your mesh. So a lot of just great features improving the mesh support. Yeah, there's new support being added for this virtual overviews for point clouds. I think this just helps it so that you can view the like generalized or the 2D version of the point cloud quickly. And they work, I think, similar to how overviews work in raster layers. And you can switch between rendering just the extents of the point cloud. Then as you zoom in, you can actually start showing the point data. Then the layouts have had lots of nice improvements. So just better interactions for resizing elements. So for example, if you're working with the layout here, like this, and you've got a label like this, and you've got long text in it. Make it very long text. So I think you're supposed to be able to do like that now, and you can just, so I just double clicked on the size handle, and then it resized to the size of the text, which is just really convenient if you ever fiddled around trying to get all your labels perfectly sized. There's a lot more double click things that you can do in the map. I don't know if that one has got it there, but so just improving more the mouse interactions with items. I think that's at the API level still. Yeah, they're showing that when you're working with a node item, you've got better digitizing tools, so it makes it easier to draw, including doing snapping to your grid lines that you've set, and making it easier to remove mistakes if you've made a mistake while you're drawing. This is another very nice feature. I don't know if you ever worked with the QGIS layout and you go here and you set the page to, I don't know, A5 or something like this, but you've got more than one page in your layout, and then you want to change them all. You can see like the first one was on A5, and then the others are on A4 still. But now you can go change the size and then say apply to all pages. Yeah, so it'd be like this. There we go. So you have to right click on the page and then you choose the new page size and then you say apply to all pages, and then they all get quickly resized to the same size, which is just really convenient if you ever struggled trying to decide to change your page size and then have to go through every page manually. There's more options now for how you export your JPEG. So you've got this quality slider, you can improve the compression at the loss of some quality if you want to.
Tim, we also have a comment from Michael about the extent buffer feature. He says it's a useful option for geometry generators and can be found under the advanced button, where also symbol levels and animation settings can be found.
Let's go and have a look there. So we do on here, and then we go here. Okay, thank you very much. Was it Michael? Who was that?
Yes, Michael.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Yeah, so this is the one we were talking about, where if you take this point and you put it slightly off screen, but it's got a geometry generator around it. I'll try to just replicate that quickly. So we can go over here and use the geometry generator. Sorry. Like this, and we could say like a buffer. It's going to be in degrees, which isn't great, but anyway, let's do that. So we could say like buffer of the geometry 0.004, something like this. You can see some interesting stuff I've done. I actually didn't expect it to do like that. But let's make it just a bit bigger like this. This map is really cluttered. Let me just turn off all the layers quickly. Just turn on the one. Okay, so that's better. Yeah. Okay. So now this buffer, I'm going to put also the layer of the original point in there, just so you can see. So usually when this, can you see how the circle disappears when the point goes off the screen? But now with this advanced feature, I can go tell it to use a larger buffer. I'm going to go back up here, advanced extent buffer, and I'll set the buffer to the same size. What did I use? 0.004, something like that. Doesn't allow me to use, yeah, 0. There may be some issues because it doesn't allow me to set to the same precision as my buffer is. Let's do it in millimeters rather. And I can do like 10 millimeters or 20 millimeters or something like that.
Tim, we lost your screen.
Oh. I'm back now. Let me get it back. Just tell me if you see it again.
I think it seems like even the laptop is out of the meeting. But
Should be coming back shortly.
there we go. Yes, we can see.
Sorry guys, it's going to do that probably because I'm on dodgy Windows here. But okay, there's maybe some little bugs that I just found while playing with it because you can't set it to the same units if you're in, I'm being naughty, I'm using WGS 844326 for my CRS. But let's see if keeps drawing. So you can see the difference there where before when the red dot went off the screen, the buffer was disappearing, but now because the dot is within 20 millimeters of the edge of the screen, it renders the buffer. If I move it too far away, then it will disappear. But as soon as it's within 20 millimeters, then it comes back. I hope that makes sense. And thanks, Michael, for the hints. If anybody listening has more hints, please help me, or please feel free to jump in. The next cool thing is about digitizing, and this one is let's just have a remind myself here, but it's about how you can trim and extend a line to the nearest node along the same plane as the line. So you can see in the examples on the screen here, he's basically trimming or extending a line to take it from the endpoint to the next node along the same direction of that line. Just really nice tools to make it quick to digitize things accurately. The georeferencer now supports snapping, which is great. I don't know if you've ever used the georeferencer, but it's quite a handy thing if you can actually have it snap to the intersection of a road, for example, when you're capturing your ground control points. So that's a really nice feature. The support last release was there was native support for spatial temporal asset catalogs or stacks in QGIS. There was a plugin before that was developed by Cartosa, which is, I guess, at some point going to be deprecated by this new core support for stack catalogs. And but I think in the first version you couldn't see the thumbnails of the assets in the browser. But now with this release, you can now actually see the thumbnails and or the footprints, as they call them, yeah, which is really great. This is all great because it's going to be like QGIS really has very good support for cloud native GIS. We can do vector tiles, we can read cogs, and we can read spatial temporal asset catalogs. So we really are on the forefront of supporting the next generation of GIS technologies. The forms and widgets have had some improvements now. So you can have new sorting options for how items are presented in a list. You can do it by the key, the value, or by another field, which is really nice. And then the form designer lets you copy and paste a widget, which is also great if you've got a lot of widgets that need a similar configuration. Being able to just copy and paste their settings from one to the next makes it just much quicker to generate a form, which is complex and
It's a really nice tool. I saw that and I was like, okay, yeah, definitely going to be using that one.
We can try to pull that up quickly and see if we can do a quick little demo. So that's if you go into here and you go to the form design and you switch to, sorry, my interface is in Portuguese. Let me just switch it to English quickly.
It's on your QGIS screen is not showing.
Oh my God, okay. I'll just switch it to English, restart, and also reconnect again. I think it's every time my phone, because I hotspot off my phone, every time my phone goes to sleep, the internet goes offline. Just tell me if I'm reconnected again. I'm struggling to get back in again. Maybe one of you can put the changelog up on your screen and we can just talk through it, because I think it's going to be hard for me to keep reconnecting and demoing things live.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I'm going to give up on Windows. It was my 10 minutes of Windows experience per year.
Yep. See if okay. Not sure if you can see my screen.
Yeah. We got back to where we were. Okay, so there was a copy and paste of the form, which is really nice. And then lots of improvements on the processing framework. So the processing framework is what we use when we want to do like spatial analysis in QGIS. Let's see what we've got. The scatter plots, I've never tried them out. I don't know if the scatter plots itself is new, but it's great to see that we've got some plotting functions coming into QGIS here.
Oh,
I
I
don't know if
think it's
anybody.
in there. It's just not really used a lot. I think it depends on the work that you do, but it's there.
And yeah, there's just a lot of. Don't think we can go through these ones in too much detail without having them check. But Geometry Checker, which is the core QGIS plugin, which was disabled by default, I think is now, if I understand correctly, is now part of the processing framework as well. I don't know if it actually uses the same logic as the Geometry Checker plugin or not. I think it was from the original Geometry Checker plugin. So there's a lot of advanced geometry cleaning tools in there. All these plot things I've never tested out, so I need to go and play with them. But
So I think because I'm just looking at what's this, there's the pie chart, the histograms, stacked bars, stack diagrams, but not the scatter plot.
But those ones were in the cartography, but I think this one is for generating a scatter plot using like a standalone chart as a standalone chart. And I'd be curious to see if we could put them into a layout somehow as well. I think it just renders it to a PNG if I'm not mistaken, but if anybody in the room knows, it'd be great to hear. The zonal min-max, I think when you do the when you generate, it will generate a point layer with the minimum maximum value for raster for every polygon zone, which is quite handy. Okay, and then there's another new processing algorithm that lets us make profile plots, which is great. So you can have a whole bunch of segments, run a processing algorithm, and I think it will write one image per profile plot to an output file. And then I think you can reference those again from other places like reports and things, which is good.
That's a nice feature as well.
That's by Mathieu, who was just in the room with us just now. And then more mesh processing things, which is really great. And then I don't know if you've seen the profile tools. There's, I think about 2 years ago, Niall introduced the profile plot. Now there's more tools for custom configuration of those. And this is very nice that you can execute SQL on every layer now. You'll see that execute SQL button or menu item there. So you can quickly run a query on any layer. And then a bunch of programming stuff. And then maybe you could just scroll down to the bottom and just show that as well as all of these, we still have this layout issue with our table, right? But all of these, this long stuff that CLB we're scrolling through now, these are all bug fixes that have been funded by the funding the sustaining membership program of QGIS. And I think we had hundreds of bug fixes in this release. A lot of them are just complicated under the hood things that wouldn't have been fixed by people doing contract work, but the funding that we get in QGIS that we can apply for this to this problem allows us to fix things that are not like not mainstream things that a company will come and say, I want to fix that, but we get to clean up the code under the hood with that funding. So it's been another great release. I'm sorry about my demo. Next time I will have my technology a bit better sorted out that I can actually show off more of the features. But the release is already available for Windows and Debian-based Linux. It's not on FlatHub yet. Usually I use the FlatHub one to do the show and tell, but should come soon to FlatHub. And do go grab the latest one if you're a QGIS enthusiast and try out all the nice new toys. I don't know if there's any questions from the floor or from the room. I see Ethan is there. It's always nice to see you there, Ethan. Have you got any especially interesting things in the new release you noticed?
So far, there's no questions in the live chat. It's just everyone saying that everything that's been released is amazing and keep up the good job. So, yeah, nothing but good praise.
Good work, guys. Good work to the developers and all the community. There's so many people that make every release happen, and Jürgen, who does the actual release process. I think it was the first time ever, oh, not ever, but for as long as I can remember, that he was like a few minutes late. He normally puts it out 12 o'clock exactly on the day of the release or what have you. But he had some personal things to deal with. Just amazing dedication that he shows, to get those releases out like clockwork every 4 months, and in between all the bug fix releases and so on as well. So that's it. Unless there's any other questions or comments, or anybody wants to jump on the mic, we can leave it there and enjoy QGIS 3.42, the monster. And we look forward to seeing you at the next QGIS Open Day at the end of next month.
Right. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Tim, and thank you to everyone who's been putting a really hard work in making sure that we all get a platform that is easy to use, efficient, with so many features that make life for everyday analysis easier. So thank you for that. And thank you everyone for joining, and have a great weekend.
All right. Cheers then.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.